Welcome. So we have today Dr. Divyanarayan Upadhyay. He's the author of two books. The first one being the Battle of Panchvati and Other Stories, and the second one being Daffodils. The first one is a collection of the stories from Indian epics, and second one is a collection of fictional short stories, if I'm not wrong. And we have with us Ayushi, Aditi, Devanshi, Swagata, and me, Siddhant. And we'll be talking to Sir, and we have some questions, so we get to know him. And we have a special rapid fire for him as well towards the end. And then we'll take the questions from the audience as well. Let us begin. So, Ayushi, you have the first question.
Okay. Good evening, sir. And glad to finally meet you. My first question to you is that your story, like I really am curious to know, like you're a doctor, right? And what's your journey of becoming a writer?
Is actually very interesting. मैंने last time सिद्धांत को बताया था, तो आपको बताऊंगा, आप भी हंसोगे. So it started like this. I used to tell bedtime stories to my children. So the stories would inevitably be from the Ramayana or Mahabharata, and they would, elicit lot of interest in children. So I realized कि इनको Avengers की story सुनाने से अच्छा यही सुनाओ. It is as good. So as the stories progressed, so I realized कि my knowledge also lacks depth, and they also wanted more and more. What happened slowly? My wife also joined. So मुझे लगा, see, everyone is curious. So then I got down to writing them, and I started a blog first. Then I wrote my first story. That was the Cosmic Dance. And when I shared that story, it got some very good reviews. My friends were very surprised. ये क्या लिख दिया तुमने? So, and I realized that people actually don't know so many things which we take for granted कि हमको ये पता होगा. So, majority of the people don't actually know. So then I started, reading and writing and stuff like that. There, this journey began, and the book came obviously much later.
That's an interesting journey.
Yeah, that was an interesting question, Ayushi, actually, because that was the first question I asked her as well, as you mentioned, So understanding the artist actually becomes important.
And because,
Yes.
I am always curious to know how one became a writer, because that's a story in its own, it's a journey. Like becoming a writer is like recreating yourself, like living another life, I think.
Exactly, that is true. So it's from children's bedtime stories to a blogger, then to finally an author. So
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
That,
Yeah. So Aditi, so your question?
Yeah, hi. Yeah. So, sir, good evening, sir.
I
Sir, my question for you is,
who Aditi
different-
was?
Somewhat,
Devtauti Mata.
I'm not sure.
So see, it's the interviewer interviewing the interviewee.
So
Aditi
all I
Aditi
know
was-
about the name is, she was the mother, she is said to be the mother of all gods. Like, she is the supreme mother.
Yes. So she's the mother of the Adityas. So the Adityas are the gods. So the Vedic pantheon mein there are 12 Adityas. जो इंद्र विंद्र हैं, ये सब आदित्य हैं. So she was the
Okay.
mother of the gods. Yes. There you
Okay, thank you, sir.
go. Please. Sorry.
Sir, different people have different versions of the Indian mythology. This questions the veracity of the Indian mythology. What do you think? Why these versions exist?
The versions exist because everyone looks at the same thing in a different way. अब जैसे कृष्ण जी हैं, if you look at the character of Krishna, तो यशोदा मैया उनको बच्चा देखती हैं, राधा उनको differently देखती हैं, और different उनको जो अर्जुन है वो differently देखते हैं, कौरव differently देखते हैं. So if each of these people were to write their version of Mahabharata, it would be totally different, But the core story would stay the same. It would be their opinions. And you would be surprised how many versions of our stories are there. So, versions are not a problem as long as the core story remains the same. Versions are always welcome, People, you tell me a story, I can see something different in it. I can see a different message. Or these days it is fashionable to bring out versions. Someone is writing Asura, someone is writing Sita, the warrior of Mithila, and stuff like that.
Right.
So it is looking at the same thing from different angles. Nine blind men wali story suni aapne?
No, sir.
No. Oh, so
They were asked to describe an elephant.
Aesop's fables mein, yes. So 9 blind men were asked to describe an elephant. So they touched different parts. So someone said, "Oh, elephant is big like a leaf." Jisne can't touch kiya. Jisne heart touch kiya, kehte elephant is big like a pillar. So, and everyone is right. So different versions is like that. Everyone is right. Everyone is telling their own story.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So, Devanshi, would you like the next question?
Yeah. Sir, when I saw your profile, I was very much amazed at the education, and even a part of after so many years investing into education and investing into science, and you are still into this learning, that to embark learning into young generation through your findings, through your experiences. So I have a curious question, being from a science background, that what is that thing that distinguishes you from science and mythology? I mean, you must have patients coming from all over world come to you that, sir, we want this operation. How do you make that personality different between
You
medicine
reconcile.
and mythology? Yeah.
See, Devanshi, medicine and mythology both are founded on the same principle, and that principle is belief. My patients come to me because they believe in me. I read the scriptures or I read the epics because I believe in it. When I write something, I do not ask that the reader believe in it, but the underlying thing is the same, and it is my belief. It may not be everyone's belief, but beliefs are subjective, and it is my belief that all medicine has to end in religion, because medicine till now, till date, I don't know what will happen in the future. Medicine till date has a limit, but imagination does not, and that is why mythology does not have a limit. So mythology or epics or our scriptural stories help in a way that medicine cannot, and thereby these two are complementary, not competitive.
Can I add something to your answer?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It's very wrong to say that myth means mithya, means basically lies, but mythological stories that Indian scriptures has, like our culture was much more developed than this medicine and science. We had everything. Like if we see like maybe Sanjeevani Booty, for instance, or like one of my favorite stories of your book Daffodils, the Ganpati one. Like that shows that we were actually well developed before all this innovation started coming. So it's
did you know that ये शिवनिश जी ने जो मुंडी वाला किया गणेश जी के साथ, इसके पहले he had done this to Daksh also.
Yes, उन्होंने बकरी का सर लगाया था.
तो ये अक्सर करता रहते थे ऐसे वो.
Yeah, तो जिसको अभी हम लोग चमत्कार बोलते हैं, but it was actually like after reading your book, I was like, yeah, this is microsurgery. So
you never know. See, all that science teaches us is that you don't know. Science teaches us to be inquisitive. And unless a proof is found either way, you cannot say ki this is wrong or this is right. So I'm not saying that this is right, but I will not disprove it also. See, so I am what you may say agnostic. I don't know. So till you give me proof either way, I will not say that this is all rubbish. I will also not say that every word that is written in this book is correct. Right? So you have to take a middle path.
correct.
Quite true, actually. Excellent question, actually, Devanshi. This was a good one. So next up, Swagata, your question.
Good evening, everyone, and sir. And I'm really sorry that my camera wasn't working in the first place. I finished reading your book, The Battle of Panchvati, yesterday itself, and I was so excited for this session because I had so many questions in my mind. But okay, we came down to 2 questions only. But let me ask one of them. Because, how do you say that you used to tell these stories to your kids, mythological stories? So how do you think it is like, how much it is important for the new generation to know about our history, about our culture, the Indian culture?
Oh, very, very. See, your stories are what defines you, right? How do you say, who am I? आपसे पूछा जाए अगर कि आप कौन हो, तो आप अपनी आइडेंटिटी में क्या बताओगे? कि मैं लंबा हूं, गोरा हूं, काला हूं? नहीं, आप बताओगे कि मैं कैसे कपड़े पहनता हूँ, मैं किस देश से आता हूँ, मैं कैसे खाना खाता हूँ, हमारे यहाँ दादी क्या स्टोरी सुनाती है. तो these stories are a part of you. They are your identity, whether you like it or not, whether you think this is some primitive mumbo jumbo or you think they are the gospel truth. Irrespective of that, they are a part of you. So whether you like it or not, like parents, you may not like your parents, but they are still your parents. You can't wish them away. So it's like that. These stories are your stories. So you have to know at least some part. If someday someone who does not belong to your culture asks you about your stories, and suppose he knows more about your stories than you do, wouldn't it be, embarrassing that
Yeah.
आपको ही नहीं मालूम है? You come from this land, this ancient land which has been here for tens of thousands of years, which has such a long philosophical tradition, which has so many stories, innumerable stories. The Mahabharata is the largest, the epic written all over the world, ever in the world. You know that.
Yeah.
So you come from a land where such a great epic poetry has been written, and if you don't know any part of it, then it is rather shameful, I think. And I think there would always be, whether you realize it or not, there would always be a void in your personality. You may be all, a citizen of the world, but unless you belong somewhere, you can't be nowhere. You have to belong somewhere for you to have your identity, and the stories give you that feeling of belonging. They are your home, so you have to know your stories.
That's so true. In fact, the part where you said that, there are so many stories written in our, the culture, the ancient history and past and all. I sometimes feel that even, telling, and as you said that the stories of Avengers, and they are actually less interesting than that of Mahabharata and Ramayana. I
Exactly.
said to one of my friend that, people go crazy about the story of Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, but I think they should actually read Mahabharata and Ramayana instead, because that's even more intriguing than the other stories.
You know why these are not famous? Why children, or why people don't read it? It is actually our fault. We have not repackaged them. We have
Yeah.
not repackaged them in a way which appeals to the modern mind, and that is the sole purpose of this book. If you go through the book, you see the rendering is modern, the language is such that the modern mind may understand. And I have struggled with trying to strike a balance between something mystical happening and something which is explainable. So the modern mind has to be able to accept that this is possible. When the young today's generation can accept कि Thanos के चुटकी बजाते ही सब गायब हो जाता है, तो I think they can accept कि रामचंद्र अकेले जमीन पे खड़े होकर 10,000 राक्षसों से जीत सकते हैं. But you have to explain it in a way to them. जैसे Thanos के पास Infinity Stone है, तो रामचंद्र के पास क्या था that he can win? So that repackaging has to be done to attract people back to these things.
It's true. So I
In
have
fact,
one.
these things.
Yeah, you can continue.
In fact, Game of Thrones was inspired by Mahabharata. Like many characters of Game of Thrones, yes, it's inspired by Mahabharata. For instance, Jon Snow was inspired by Karna, and
Oh, I did not know that.
Khaleesi was inspired by Draupadi. Yeah.
Yeah, so fun facts, guys. Please take a note.
Yeah, that is amazing. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Neither
So,
me.
I have a question that, how has your training as a surgeon impacted your writing and creative process and thinking process?
Our training as a surgeon, and specifically as a plastic surgeon, it it teaches you to look at the details and look at minute things, because millimeter idhar udhar can mean a lot. So when you are in the habit of looking into details, and details are what are important in storytelling, it is the details which attract. If you have read the story, the Battle of Panchavati, where Ramchandra has gone for a bath and he is ascending from the river, then I have tried to give each and every detail, how he looks, how he dresses, so that that detail should give you a picture कि अच्छा अगर आज मुझे दिख जाए रामचंद्र तो कैसे दिखेंगे. It is that detail which is important, and I think that attention to detail, at least in me, has come from my training in surgery.
No, details become very important in the stories, because if it's very superficial, then people will get bored and walk away from the story. Unless and until you are able to hold them and they are able to paint a picture, I don't think it's going to work. Ayushi, you have, I think, one more question.
Yeah, I have one more question from you, sir. I wanted to ask you, like, while you're writing about mythology, and how do you put logic into it, and how do you navigate through your emotions while you're writing your books, like both Daffodils and the Battle of Panchvati? All the stories were like, it had logic. It was not only like superficial, as you have already said. So how do you navigate through those emotions?
That is a very difficult thing, Ayushi. I tell you because as a man of science, as a man of evidence-based learning, I would want that I should be able to explain everything in the epics. Unfortunately, that is not possible. And as I have realized over a certain period of time, that is not desirable also. Because if you were to explain everything, break everything down into logic, into tangible evidence, then the story would lose its charm.
It will be more factual.
Yes, the magic in the story is, the wonder in the story, that is what retains the fun in it. So striking that balance, that leaving some magic, some mystical thing, a part of mystery in it, and explaining the rest, that striking the balance is very difficult. And honestly, I have really struggled with that. I don't know if you have read that book, that story, The Eighth Son, which is on the birth of Krishna and Vasudev carrying him across Yamuna. I have really struggled how to explain how Vasudev, carries him across the Yamuna, and how Sheshnag comes and forms a canopy so that the child. So I tried different means and ways, but I could not. So I had to leave it at that way. And then I realized that maybe some parts are best left the way they are. And we should not break everything down into evidence and hard scientific
Logics,
facts.
yeah.
Otherwise, the stories would lose their charm.
Acceptable, like 100% true.
Yeah, actually, because if everything is believable, then it's not a story, it's just life.
Then it's not Avengers, no?
Exactly.
Yeah, then it will be
Exactly.
just random eighth son born. It won't be Krishna, like the birth of Krishna.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Aditi, you're up.
Yeah. Sir, as you said about the attention to detail, while reading the Battle of Panchvati, I was really intrigued by the detail. In fact, I was so intrigued that I wanted to reread it. So I am going to read it tomorrow. So my question for you is, actually, it raised so much curiosity in me that I want to know more about the Indian mythology. So my question for you is, both of your books, The Battle of Panchvati and Daffodils, are a collection of short stories. When are you planning to write a full-fledged novel pertaining to a single storyline?
That is the aim. But in some near foreseeable future, I want to write something very badly. But you see, for a struggling author, मेरा जो prized thing है, अगर वो मैं लिखूं and it does not get the place that it deserves, so I think I would lose all steam. So I am just waiting, that maybe establish yourself with, short story stuff, and you have some publishers who will accept your work when and if you actually get down to doing that hard work. Because what I am planning in future would require some real hard work, but I don't see that happening in the near future. But yes, I want to do that.
Sure, sir. I'll be eagerly waiting for it.
Great question, actually, Aditi. From short stories, we would definitely love to see a long book coming out. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
Like initially, I just know the superficial stories about the Indian mythology, but the way Sir has written it down, I was really intrigued. Now I want to know more into detail about it.
Actually,
So
आपको
I was
बताऊं
just
मैं, Aditi, the second edition of the Battle of Panchvati was ready, and its manuscript had gone to the publishers, and then the Corona's thing happened. So all the
oh
publishers, they shut shop, and everything was shelved. So, and that was a real setback for me, because I had invested considerable emotions in that. When you write mythology, especially for me, I I can visualize my stories happen. I can live my stories. So for me to put them down on paper, it's a considerable outpouring of emotions. And when that is not taken well, or that is अच्छे से नहीं उसको treat किया जाता ना, तो it feels very bad. So that puts you off from doing anything. That is when Daffodils came. So because इतने महीने से कुछ नहीं हो रखा था, and Daffodils was a collection of blogs रखा हुआ था, and no publisher was ready to do anything. And I did this KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing thing. Fortunately, then that came.
okay.
yeah. So that actually is, see. So we have a story. Every book, has a different story. So we know why we have Daffodils out, and we would actually wait for the second edition of Battle of Panchvati and some more stories that are there.
Exactly.
Yes,
I'm
so in the
actually
second
curious to know.
in the second edition, I have expanded on some stories. Some stories have been continued further, and some 3 new stories have been added. So that was a very interesting work, but unfortunately publishers are so pricey. इतना भाव खाते हैं कि seriously, का भाव अगर हम खाते हुए होते तो मरीज मर जाते. Like,
सही बात है.
I'm actually curious to know, but which is the next book you're planning? Like, on which topic would you like to write on?
so there is another book of short stories which I am planning after this second edition of Panchvati comes out, if and when it comes out. So there is another book of short stories which are different stories from Bhagavatam. जैसे जो श्रीमद् भागवत है, जो भागवत पुराण है, that is the compendium of all the stories that you know. आपने बचपन में जितनी भी स्टोरीज जो सुनी होंगी, they are all there in the भागवत. तो वो ध्रुव की स्टोरी, प्रहलाद की स्टोरी, हिरण्यकश्यप की स्टोरी, and all those stories which you have read in Amar Chitra Katha or heard from mothers and grandmothers, they are all there. So it is a really treasure house of stories. आप उसका एक छोटा section उठा के you can really elaborate on that. I was planning to write on that, but let's see. अभी तो part 2 ही नहीं आया Battle of Panchvati का तो.
That's true.
I
That's
have
true.
an additional question to the things you have explained. So, I mean, short stories, when as a reader we read, I mean, we start something and all of a sudden it ends. And then a new story starts. So, as a reader, our heart still lingers on the previous story. It is
Yeah.
already ended. So,
That is exactly the purpose of this short story, that it should inspire you to go and pick the real thing. The purpose of writing these mythological short stories is that it should kindle your interest. आप अगर cosmic dance पढ़ते हो या आप Battle of Panchvati पढ़ते हो, तो it should inspire you to actually pick up the Ramayana and read कि जरा देखें ये incidents कहाँ है उसमें.
I mean, as a writer, why didn't you chosen a path which was like, accomplished on its own? Why did you left an open end?
सच बताऊं तो मेरा मार्केट खराब हो जाएगा, लेकिन I am too lazy to write long things. So, but besides that, short story क्या है ना कि if one picks up a book of short stories, तो आप एक स्टोरी पढ़ के छोड़ सकते हो. you need not finish the complete book. So in today's time, if see a book of short stories, you can take along in a flight and do 2 stories and leave the rest. या आप in between flights हो तो बैठ के आपने एक स्टोरी पढ़ लिया, something like that. So if you are busy, if you are the jet setting kinds, तो आप एक बुक को थोड़ा थोड़ा ब्रेक करके भी पढ़ सकते हो. That is the practical use of short stories जो मेरे को समझ में आया.
That was an excellent question, Devanshi. I feel that as sir mentioned, short stories serve a purpose when you are traveling. But in the current scenario, I think long and thick novels are the need of the hour.
अरे जले पे नमक नहीं छिड़को यार.
I think like short stories are for people like me who can't commit to like maybe very long novels. So it's very on the go. I can just read and I can carry on with my studies.
Yes, so the reader base of both are different maybe.
Correct. Also, you can't lie. I can see very thick books behind you.
I was going to say the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe she reads them like short stories, chapter wise.
Maybe. Maybe. Swagata, your question.
Yes, as you said, sir, that we have to bring on rendition so that the youth is interested into the mythological stories. But the Indian audience is tad bit too sensitive when it comes to weaving stories around their beliefs or on religion and mythology. So while writing the Battle of Panchvati, did you feel some kind of pressure that you have to keep in mind the sentiments of the readers as well, so that even if a bit goes wrong here and there, and then your book is just ruined?
So there are 2 parts in this question. मैं पहले आपको बता दूं. पहले तो sensitivity of the Indian audience. I believe that is not true. You know why? Because आप देखो रामायण की कितने वर्जन हैं. तो 3 ऑथेंटिक वर्जन माने जाते हैं. तो ओल्डेस्ट हैं वो एक वाल्मीकि रामायण है, एक कंब रामायण है, एक तुलसीदास की रामचरितमानस है. आप ये 3 उठा के पढ़ो, कंपेयर करो, तो इन तीनों में ही बहुत डिफरेंस है. इसके बाद कम से कम 10-15 तो हिंदुस्तानी है और सैकड़ों रामायण है जो कि दुनिया भर में गाई जाती है. तो रामायण और आज की नहीं है, तब सैकड़ों साल पहले की. तो ऐसा नहीं है. पीपल आर नॉट सेंसिटिव. पीपल आर सेंसिटिव तब जब कहीं कोई बदमाशी करना चाहे, जानबूझ के बदमाशी करोगे तो सेंसिटिव हो जाएंगे. नहीं, इफ द राइटर इज बीइंग सेंसिटिव, तो अब सीता द वॉरियर ऑफ मिथिला आई तो क्या कोई सेंसिटिव हुआ? कोई सेंसिटिव नहीं हुआ. तो सीता जी को आपने वॉरियर दिखाया तो वी आर वेरी हैप्पी कि सीता जी वॉरियर है. ठीक है भाई, ये यू आर टर्निंग रामायण अपसाइड डाउन. ठीक है, इट्स ओके, इट्स एक्सेप्टेबल. तो ऐसा नहीं है. दिस आई डोंट थिंक दैट दिस इज ट्रू, बट यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट दीज आर द कैरेक्टर्स. अगर आप जैसे रामायण उठा रहे हो, अब रामचंद्र है, लक्ष्मण है, सीता है, रावण है. दीज आर द कैरेक्टर्स विच द इंडियन पीपल और द पीपल ऑफ द सबकॉन्टिनेंट in fact have lived with for thousands of years. These are not fictional characters. हम कहते हैं कि fictional characters, but ये fictional characters नहीं है जिनको सुबह शाम आप जिनके बारे में बात करते हो. They become part of you. They are part of your family. They are part of the Indian subcontinental family का part है ये. तो इसलिए if you go beyond the limit तभी ऐसा होगा. Otherwise, I think people are very tolerant. But obviously, you have to know your limits. अगर आप किसी मेरे फैमिली वाले कोई गाली दोगे तो मैं गुस्सा तो हो जाऊंगा, है ना. तो these characters you see, अब आप लोगों के नाम ही देखो. People's name are a study in themselves. From now on, you start noticing people's name. तो आप देखो कितने लोगों में राम आता है. सीताराम, जय राम, राजा राम है. लोग सुबह शाम जय श्री राम, राम राम भैया, जय राम जी की भैया. तो आप सुबह दोपहर शाम रात कम से कम 50 बार तो राम 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 जी करते हो. तो दैट कैरेक्टर इट मे बी और ही मे बी फिक्शनल. मैं उस पे जा ही नहीं रहा. वो फिक्शनल हो सकता है लेकिन वो कैरेक्टर हैज बिकम अ पार्ट ऑफ यू. तो व्हेन समथिंग इज पार्ट ऑफ यू, तो अ लिटिल smartness is required, a little sensitivity is required when you are writing. Unless you go outrageously beyond limits, तब तक कुछ नहीं होगा. The Indian subcontinent is very tolerant. दूसरा, जहां तक मेरी बुक की बात है, तो माई बुक इज अ मियर रीटेलिंग. I have not done any major changes, and that is the purpose of my writing. The purpose of my writing is not to fictionalize the stories at all, not to change them, just to make them palatable or make them easily readable to the current generation. आपको अभी रामायण पढ़नी हो तो आप कौन सी रामायण पढ़ोगे बताओ? कोई नहीं है. ऐसी कोई रामायण का वर्जन है ऑथेंटिक, जिसमें वाल्मीकि की स्टोरी या तुलसीदास जी ने बोली वो स्टोरी लिखी हो, जो अंग्रेजी में आप उठा के पढ़ लो और बोलो हाँ मैंने तुलसीदास जी की रामायण अंग्रेजी में पढ़ी, मजा आया. ऐसी कोई बुक नहीं है. No such work exists. So the purpose of this book is to make the original story interesting. उसमें कहीं कहीं मसाला डाला है, but not much. केवल स्वाद के लिए है, और दाल का रंग चेंज हो जाए इतना नहीं है.
This was the perfect analogy, I think. मतलब yes, एकदम पकड़ में आने वाली है सबको. Stemming from this, that's my question as well. To write all these stories, you have done a lot of background research. So, what are the books that you would recommend to the people who are watching this video? As we had a conversation पहले भी, and you recommended some very fantastic books.
Yes,
So-
जो मैंने लास्ट टाइम आपको बोला था सिद्धांत, वही मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ. इफ यू वांट टू रीड रामायण एंड महाभारत in English, in a language which is still tolerable, and a story which has not been distorted or fictionalized, which still sticks to the original version, you must read Chakravarti Rajgopalachary's Ramayana and Mahabharata. As per Raja ji ने जो अपने इंट्रोडक्शन में लिखा है, he writes that it is for children, but वो एडल्ट्स के लिए भी उतना ही एंजॉयबल है. मैं आपको सच बताऊं, मैं आज भी वो बुक्स पढ़ता हूं वन आफ्टर द अदर. दैट इज द इजीएस्ट वे टू कीप ऑन. देखो, रामायण और महाभारत आप कंटेस्ट कर नहीं सकते, मतलब हमारे जैसे नॉर्मल लोग नहीं याद कर सकते. दीज आर टू वॉल्यूमिनस स्टोरीज. अनलेस यू आर रीडिंग इट डे इन एंड डे आउट, तब तक आपको उसके सारे कैरेक्टर्स, सारे इवेंट्स, सारे नुआंसेस, सारे नाम याद नहीं सकते. तो अगर वो करना है आपको, तो रेगुलरली बुक उठा के ऑफ एंड ऑन पढ़ते रहना है. रेगुलरली वही बुक उठा पाओगे जो टॉलरेबली रिटन है एंड विच यू कैन इजीली रीड. सो दीज आर द टू बुक्स विच, अगर आपको इतिहास पढ़ना है, जैसे रामायण महाभारत आपको पढ़ना है, दीज आर द टू बुक्स विच आर एब्सोल्युटली फन टू रीड.
Yeah. And if I remember, you recommended a books by Vivek Devroy as well.
Vivek Devroy's work is an academic work actually.
Okay.
So it is not easy to read, but if you have the drive, Vivek Devroy does translations from Sanskrit. They are true to text. जैसे रामायण का critical edition है. So critical edition is that they compare all the different versions of Ramayana, और जो common मिलता है, so that is written down as the critical edition. तो क्रिटिकल एडिशन का जो संस्कृत वर्जन है, विवेक देब्रॉय इज ट्रांसलेटिंग दैट संस्कृत वर्जन ऑफ unabridged Sanskrit version directly into English. So that work is a masterpiece, but that is some serious work. So if you are into seriously कि हाँ भाई मुझे तो पढ़ ही जानी है, तो आप विवेक देब्रॉय पढ़ सकते हो. विवेक देब्रॉय की महाभारत भी है, विवेक देब्रॉय की रामायण भी है, विवेक देब्रॉय की भागवतम भी है, मार्कंडेय पुराण है, गीता है. ही इज डूइंग लॉट ऑफ वर्क.
या सो मतलब काफी है पढ़ने के लिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि कहानी सुन ली तो हो जाएगा.
नो, इट्स एन ओशन. आई हैव वेस्टेड सो मेनी इयर्स. मैं तो अब चालू किया
महाभारत विवेक देब्रॉय वाला, but it was very difficult. I could not surpass the first chapter. I was like, no, it's okay, I'll read some other version.
You read Chakravarti Rajgopalachary's Mahabharata, you will finish it like this. So good.
Definitely.
Or you can read it like short stories. Each and every chapter is a separate story. The way he writes it, you can read one chapter which is like 3-4 pages and leave it. Next day again go to another chapter, leave it. I am selling his book. I should be selling my book.
Well, your book is actually excellent. It will sell itself. Guys, do we have any more questions for sir? Or we can move on to the...
I have one small question, and it
Sure.
is more personally question. Like, I want to know. It's my curiosity that is driving me. You are a person whose career is like completely packed, right? And then after you have to give time to your family as well. So how do you manage to read as well as write and still not be able to compromise on any level? Like your
Pranshi,
career.
देखो, this is not difficult. You finding time for what you love, you will always be able to do that. But it is always give and take. You cannot have everything. तो मैं सरकारी नौकर हूँ. देखो, I teach in a medical college. I work in a medical college. So I work 9 to 5, 8 to 5, so to say. So after 5 o'clock, I don't do anything. I'm at home. तो या तो मैं घर के काम करता हूँ या अपनी पढ़ाई करता हूँ. So, but then that limits me. If people would invest that time also into their professional careers and practice or something like that, then obviously their career graph will go differently. But I don't want that. So it is your priority. You have to set your priorities कि मुझे क्या चाहिए, and then you have to be ready to lose something for that. If this is what I want, this is what I have to compromise with. फिर मैं वो नहीं कर पाऊंगा जो सब कर रहे हैं, because I have chosen this way of life.
Thank you so much, sir.
I also have a little question here. So you are a man of science. So, but during the Vedic times, we can say the technology of India was very much advanced at some point. Even you are a plastic surgeon, and the plastic surgery was itself discovered in India. So, what's your view or opinion about the technology used in ancient India? As you can
Swagata, I can't say, I am a storyteller, seriously. I am not a historian or an archaeologist. I wish to believe that this is true. But like I said, in the absence of evidence either way, I cannot say. But अगर हम केवल अपनी stories को ही indication माने, तो what you say about plastic surgery, that is true. I will tell you this, that Sushruta was practicing in Varanasi some 500, 600 years before Christ, before Common Era, जो आजकल बोलते हैं. So, and there were some procedures which he was doing then, which we are still doing today the same way. So, I will not say that science was not advanced. हम जैसा सोचते हैं वैसा था कि नहीं था, I don't know. But मैं आपको बताऊं, तुलसीदास के रामचरितमानस में भी पुष्पक विमान का जो डिस्क्रिप्शन लिखा है कि जब विमान चल रहा था बहुत शोर हो रहा था. हाउ डज ही नो दैट? ये कैसे जानते हैं वो? जब विमान चलता है तो बहुत शोर होता है. आज भी आप प्लेन के पास खड़े होके देखो कितना शोर होता है. So that gives me an indication. Maybe he knew, or maybe there was some text he read. Maybe there was no plane, but it was something handed down the generations कि अगर plane बनेगा तो ऐसा होगा, उसमें rotors होंगे, उससे आवाज होगी. So that is what excited his imagination. I don't know.
Thank you, sir.
Moving on to the rapid fire. So the first thing that comes to your mind, you just say that. Okay. So the first question is, what's your favorite food?
लिट्टी चोखा and pizza.
Okay, so दोनों spectrum में से एक मिल गया यहाँ पे.
Yes.
Okay, so pizza with pineapples, without pineapples?
No, without.
What's your favorite?
Pineapple in raita. Pineapple in raita.
Pineapple in
and
raita.
Pizza without pineapple.
Okay. What's your favorite cuisine?
South Indian.
Favorite restaurant in Lucknow?
Home. मैं जाता नहीं भाई, सीरियसली. आप मेरे से पूछोगे तो आई विल नॉट इवन नो द नेम्स ऑफ द रेस्टोरेंट इन लखनऊ. अगर मैं रेस्टोरेंट जाने लगूंगा तो किताब कौन लिखेगा?
ये भी बात है, वहां बैठ के लिख सकते हैं.
हाँ, ये बात नहीं सही.
One place you would love to travel to?
Goa, always.
So, do you like to type a story or would you like to put pen to paper?
Typing is easy because the first draft is almost invariably totally shit. So you have to keep on revising and revising and revising. After 4 and 5 revisions, you get something which is tolerable. If I were to write it and scratch it out and write it again, I'm sorry, I'm too lazy for that. Typing
That,
is much easier.
does it also have to do with the concept of the handwriting as well?
Yes, that is true. So
Okay.
writing is labor intensive. It is unscientific. Spending so much energy on doing something, redoing it.
That's interesting. Would you prefer stories or do you prefer poems?
Poems, no, sorry, I enjoy poems, but I cannot write poems. I can write rhymes, 2 lines, not beyond that. I'm happy with stories.
So what are you reading right now?
Okay, so what I am reading is this book. Can you see this?
Yes. Yes.
It's
Raghuvansh.
Raghuvansh by Kalidas. So this is a Hindi version, Hindi transliteration, as you may say, of Raghuvansh, which traces the lineage of Ram. It starts from Dilip. Dilip was one of the ancestors of Ram, goes down to Ram, and then to his descendants also. So it's a very short book and an interesting read, except that it is in Hindi. So Hindi थोड़ी क्लिष्ट है इसकी, it's
Okay.
difficult.
So is it
But
written
it's a
in
good
prose
book.
or poetry? This is in prose.
No, it's prose. It's prose. It is translated by some Indra Vachaspati.
Okay.
Is it in English also?
I don't know. I have no idea.
So what is your all-time favorite book?
I think Autobiography of a Yogi.
Nice selection. Who's your favorite author?
Vivek Devroy, no doubt.
So are you watching anything right now? Anything specific you would want to tell us?
No, not really. I was watching Game of Thrones. I got sick of it. So I'm taking a break from TV series.
So which season?
I don't know. I really got sick. I left somewhere. I don't know where, which season, which episode. So
What is your go-to movie, like all-time favorite movie?
I have many, but there's one recently which I watched recently. It was really good. It's Christopher Robin. I don't know if you have seen it or not. It's there on Hotstar. I think everyone should see that movie. It's about Winnie the Pooh
Okay.
and how there's a child who plays with
Yes,
Winnie
yes.
the Pooh and then he grows up and he doesn't believe in Winnie the Pooh again. And Winnie the Pooh comes to London looking for that child. It is an amazing, it's amazing.
So the last question that I have is, do you prefer paperbacks or ebooks or audiobooks?
I prefer paperback because I like the feel of paper in my hand, but I also sometimes read ebooks, and I do realize that paperbacks are on their way out, and they should be, because paper is not good now. But I still do. My weakness is still paperbacks.
So I think that's all of us, all of our weaknesses, all of us who are here. So
There's something in holding a book, physically holding a book in your hand. The smell of the paper,
The smell.
the turning of pages, and sometimes you would वो पेज को मोड़ देंगे कि हम यहाँ पढ़ रहे हैं, everything, so you are so used to that well, I do read ebooks and I write ebooks, so, but still everyone is excused for their weaknesses.
Your favorite mythological character? Part
Oh,
of the
Ramchandra, anytime. Ramchandra, I don't know if he's mythological or not, but he mythological शब्द ना बड़ा confusing है, मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता. See, when you try to describe something from Hindi to English, the words always don't match. So in Hindi, the word is इतिहास. तो आपने पता नहीं नोटिस किया कि नहीं, मैं बीच में भी बार-बार इतिहास बोल दे रहा था. तो इतिहास, रामायण महाभारत is इतिहास. Itihas is this is how it happened. Itihas does not tell you whether it is true or not true. Itihas is storytelling. It does not tell you that it's so. See, when you say it is myth, it is mythology, then that means it's not true. It's fictional. But Itihas doesn't say that. Itihas will not say whether it is true or not true. It just says this is how it happened. Whether it is fictional or it is true, it does not say. So Itihas is probably a better word.
That's
Sir,
actually interesting.
I think this is because not everyone is ready to believe that this has actually happened. Like
Yes,
the
that,
British.
that is a different debate altogether. But what I am saying is that words can have, different meanings. So when you say mythological character, I'm like, I don't know if he's mythological or not. The implication is that, it's a fictional character. So I am a little uncomfortable. So I say, yes, my favorite character, Ramchandra, anytime. But mythological, I don't know.
So
That's a smart answer.
I would like to ask a question, not to you, sir, but actually to other members. That which was your favorite stories, like among all the short stories from Daffodils and the Battle of Panchvati? Which was your favorite? I
I
would like
will
to ask Siddharth first.
I will say it was a title story of Battle of Panchvati. That I am actually reading that book, so I've started that. So that's the first one I have read. So that's the best one for me till now.
Aditi?
For me, it's the same. The Battle of Panchvati. The character description of Ramchandra is so alluring that it's the best one from the lot.
Okay. Swagata?
I like two of the stories actually, and I can't select one. One was the Draupadi story, and the other one was the Battle of Panchvati.
I was waiting for someone to say Draupadi,
Divyanshi?
Actually, this book is on my TBR. I haven't started. But
And have you tried reading Daffodils?
no, seeing sir's
What's-
interview, I definitely gonna pick it tomorrow.
What's TBR?
To be read.
Oh my, I'm sorry. Do I sound ancient?
No.
No, sir.
My
Okay.
personal favorite, as I've already said, that Ganpati story, that was very alluring. Like that was new to me. Like I read a lot of mythology, but that was pretty new for me. Like I never thought through that lens. Like okay, this can also happen.
So I think we are done with our questions, and if the people who have joined us have any questions, they can unmute and ask, or they can put it in the chat box, and we can take that up. Meanwhile, there are some comments from Shashwat. He says that given the right budget and direction, a mythological series based on Mahabharata would take global cinema by storm.
That is true. I actually believe that. A long time ago, I read the interview of one of the biggest directors in Hollywood, and the person who was asking him questions, asked him, "How do you come up with these plots?" And he pulled out a small book from his pocket, and he said, "All the plots are here in this book." You know what that book was? That book was the Bible, King James Bible.
Okay.
So he said all the plots are here. So if one could extract all the plots and stories and characters and events from the Bible, imagine what you could do from the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Bhagavatam, the Chandi Puran, and stuff like that. The list is endless. So this is an ocean जिसको कि हम बोल भी नहीं सकते, इतना ज़्यादा है. So it's just that we have to. Everyone has to start to put their focus here, start mining it, so to say.
That's actually very very point, because a lot of stories have actually come out of that, and every story that we see traces itself somewhere or the other to some source that we have read before. We don't have any more questions from the audience. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank
Yeah,
God it's Saturday night.
Actually, we had a lot of people, so I thought we could have a lot more questions, but I guess you answered a lot of them. Thank you, sir, for joining. Thank you for taking your time and being here for this conversation. Thank you, Devansh. Thank you.
स्वागत अतिथि देवांशी TBR में पढ़ लेना.
Thank you, Devanshi,
Thank you.
Aditi, Swagata, Ayushi, for being there for this wonderful conversation. Thank you, Flipping Pages, for getting this organized. And it was a pleasure
Thank you,
hosting you,
Siddharth.
everyone.
Thank you, Siddharth. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you,
And
sir.
it was very lovely to meet you all finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you guys for joining. This is Siddhant signing off.
Thank